the 15th of July, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Morning, Phil.
Good morning. How you doing?
Baruch Hashem, how you doing?
Okay.
Okay, so we got up to Gimel Shlosha Shalavu. Where is Shlosha Shalavu? I don't see it on this page. No. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Echad Haloyve, Mishlosha, Yaxir Lelova. We did that. Oh, Shlosha Shalavu. Here I see. Okay. Shlosha Shalavu. There we are. See where it is? It's after two dots. It's the last word in the line. 3 lines from the wide lines. 3 lines up from the wide lines.
And 20B the wrong side after the break. 20B2. And
Got it?
Yep.
Okay, great. Let's go for it. Lou.
Shlosha Lavu Me Echad. 3 who borrowed from 1. Yachazir the Malva Kule. Return it to the lender, etc. Di Salka Daisach de Lovin Ninahu. For if you should think that documents belong to the borrowers, my boe gabe hadade. What are they doing together? Rashi?
let me see if the Rashi on this. Go see where we're up to.
This starts out very similar to the previous sugya, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if I see Rashi on this really.
No? All right.
You see Rashi? I don't see Rabbi.
Yeah, I don't see.
Doma the mich vein hu asle. Perhaps the borrowers were going to a scribe to have the documents written.
Oh, that's different than what we said before.
Right.
So here's another situation that could be another scenario where we can have 3 lenders together. Three documents of 3 different lenders, and they all are together. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, is it 3 borrowers? Oh, yeah. 3 people who borrowed. 3 borrowers.
Shlosha Shalavu. Me'echad Yaxir Malva. Oh, this is totally different case. Before we were talking about the documents were all had the Lova's name on them. Now we're saying you got 3 documents that all have the Malva's name on them. So now we're saying Yeah, give it back to the Malva. Diesel Kedaitach, the Loiveninu. If you say that the documents should be given back to the borrowers, my boy Gabi Hadodi, how come all three documents, which are all have different borrowers listed on them, how did they come together? So now we're explaining it. The Gemora is saying, yeah, we have a way like that it could be that three documents of three different borrowers could come together. Dilma, lemichdavinu osle. Maybe they all went to they all went together to the sofer to have their document written up to give to the Malva. They're preparing to loan the money, and the Malva, in order to loan the money, he's going to ask for this loan document from the Loiva. The Loiva has got the responsibility to have that document written up and sign it and give it over to the Malva. So now here we got a Rashi. Dilma, or it says. Oh, we have the Rashi before that. The loving Ninhu.
The Lavia Hayu, that it was from the borrower?
Yeah, we're correcting that word to be Ninhu, like it says in the Gemora.
Ninhu, from the borrower it was. Shaparam, that they were paid up. The whose row heaven, it was returned to them.
Right? The Gemara's first thought is it must be that the three documents all have the name of the same borrower on them. It must be that it fell, all three documents together, they fell from that one borrower who has his name on all three documents. And why is he holding it? It must be that he paid them off. And the Malva accordingly gave the document to the Lova. Instead of the Lova tearing it up, for some reason, he did not do so. And then he lost it. So we're going to return it to him. Oh, 1 second. I'm getting mixed up over here. I'm sorry. The Gemora is trying to take down this Havamina, right? If you thought to say to give it, like the Mishnah says, give it back to the one lender. But the Gemara says, because if you thought to say, oh, we should give the documents to the three different borrowers. That's what Rashi's explaining. Why would we give it to them? On what basis? Because we'd say that they already paid them. The three borrowers paid the documents. It fell from the three borrowers, and now they should be returned to them. Lashon Rabim. The Gemara says, well, how could that be? It doesn't make any sense that all three documents would be in one, would come together in one place where the finder would find all three documents of three different borrowers. On that, the Gemara says, Dilma, lemichdavinu osle. Oh, so Phil has to read that Rashi. Lemichdavinu osle.
Well, lemichdavinu, that it was written osle name. And then it said, there said umin hasofa, that it fell from the scribe. Ume'olam lo lova, and it never was from the borrower.
So, min hasofer nofal. It fell from the sofer. Me'olam lo lavu. Oh, so if so, then we're not going to give it back to the malva for sure, because we're saying that the loan was never made. The documents belong to the documents belong to three different borrowers, who the three of them came to the sofer. There's three different people. They don't have any connection to one another, but they all were, I guess, there to request a document, a loan document written up for them by the sofer. So the sofer wrote up these three different documents. The sofer is the one who has all three documents listing three different borrowers in his hand, and then he lost them all, and so they fell from him. But according to that, we shouldn't give it back to the lender, because the loan was never made. Okay, let's say that that's what happened. So what's the answer to that?
Dikatane bitlas yedei safre. The three documents were written in the handwritings of different scribes.
Oh, so we can't say rather that they fell from one scribe, these three different documents, because it's clear from the writing on each document that it's a different writing on each document. It's a different ksav yad. That means it was a different sofer that wrote them. That means that these three, we're saying these three borrowers never came together to one sofer. They all came to a different sofer. There's a lot of soferim in town. Is there a Rashi on that? No. No Rashi yet. Okay, now the Gemora's got another question. Let's ask Roy to read what the Gemora's asking now.
Okay. Dixiva Bisales Yadei Sipare. The Mishnah refers to a case in which the three documents were written in the handwritings of three different scribes. The Gemara counters what it just answered. Vidilma Likiyumi Minahu Eslay. Perhaps they were going to have the documents certified, and the Scroll says that it fills in, and they were lost in the process. Thus, the documents might still belong to the borrowers. And the Gemara has an answer for that. Will I read it?
1 second, I don't understand this step. Dilma Lekiminu Ozle. They're going to certify the document?
Yeah, the process wasn't completed yet of the borrowing. And I had to
Oh, not the it's a it's not the same type of a certification that we were talking about before, I don't think. Before we were talking about a henpeck, which certifies that the loan was actually made. and that would be that the lenders would be taking it to the sofer for a certification, to have a henpeck written. Here we're not talking about lenders taking it to the sofer for a kiyum. We're talking about borrowers taking it for a kiyum. So what type of a kiyum do borrowers want to have certified in their star? Rashi doesn't tell us. Maybe the three borrowers, they came together to the Bezdin now in order to have their star certified. And what's the nature of the certification? That the Chasimos Ha'edim that are on the star, the signatures are valid signatures, and so as a result of that, when they go to borrow the money, each one of them will have in his hand a properly validated document that authorizes the authenticity of the signatures in order to give to the malva and in order to get the loan.
Are we talking about three completely separate cases of borrowers, three separate borrowers who have nothing to do with each other? Or are we talking about, say, maybe a business deal or something where the three borrowers or three...
No, there's no business. There's three separate borrowers.
Yeah, okay. They're not related to it.
They're coming together in the Bezdin. They're coming together in the Bezdin because the Bezdin is going to certify the star.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that's how they all come together, even though they're totally separate and they've got really nothing to do with one another.
Right.
So now there's more to the story. So that's why they're going. That's why they're all going to the Bezdin. So they came from different houses. They got nothing to do with one another. But on the way, I guess they discovered to say, "Oh, where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going to the Bezdin to have my document certified." "Oh, I'm also doing the same thing." "Oh, what about this guy over there?" "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going to the Bezdin." "Oh, really?" So they all discover that they all are going to have the same thing done. So then they say, "Oh, well, let's make a deal over here." So this is the deal. Maybe this was what you were referring to, Roy, when you said they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal that they're all going to have the shtaros put into the hand of one of these three. And he's going to go and take care of all the shtaros. The other two people are entrusting their document with one of these three guys. And he's going to be the one that's going to go and get it. And I guess he's going to be the one who's responsible to give it back to the other two, and that's where it's going to go. So that's the scenario, and what happened is that this guy that's carrying his document as well as the documents of the other two guys, he lost his document. He lost all three of them, and he lost all three of them together. So now we got a scenario where even though there's three totally different borrowers that have nothing to do with one another. But so you wouldn't expect to find all three documents together. They're what do you call it? They gave it to one of them, and now he lost it, and now you got all three documents together being lost. And so rather than assuming that, oh, it must be, and what's the coincidence? It's a coincidence. There's no such thing as a coincidence, right? But here I'm saying there's a coincidence. The coincidence is that these three borrowers have all borrowed the money from the same lender. So the lender's name is on all these three documents. So the Gemora was originally saying, I mean, the Gemora's din is, the Mishnah's din is, we give the document back to the lender because we say, there's only one lender over here. There's three documents, all got his name on it. It must be it fell from the lender, right? So the Gemora says, oh, the Gemora's in the middle of saying maybe it fell from the lender, from the borrowers. The Gemora says, how could you have three totally separate borrowers and they find all three documents together? It doesn't make sense that it would come from the borrowers. It makes more sense to say it came from the lender. So Gemora is concocting this whole story in order to put down a possibility. I mean, to establish a possibility that in fact they fell from the borrowers or the representative of all three borrowers, and so therefore, accordingly, we should give them back to the borrower and not give it back to the lender. Good.
If we can't reduce the coincidence factor by postulating that these three borrowers met in the house of the lender. The lender's a rich guy. He lends to a lot of people. And it so happened that day that three borrowers happened to be there at the same time, waiting their turn. And while they're waiting, they talked. And they said, you know what, let's save ourselves a trip. One of us will go.
Okay. So you're saying they met in the house of the lender.
Right. Makes it less of a coincidence.
I hear. Yeah, I hear. Interesting. Okay. Very good. Excellent. You had a question, Lou, the other day. I forget what the question was.
Yeah, I don't remember. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so that's what we're holding right now. We're holding with this challenge. So now the Gemora needs to answer up this challenge. What do we say? Maybe in fact, we should give it back to the borrower. Not like it says in the Mishnah. The Mishnah says to give, in this case, to give the three documents back to the lender because all three documents have the name of the lender on them. So here's the Gemora's answer. Whose turn is it to read?
Lose.
My turn? Okay. Malva Mikayim Stare. A lender goes to court to certify his document to make it easier to collect his debt. Lo Mikayim Stara. A borrower does not go to certify his document for the lender's benefit. Thus, they would not have been found together unless they had fallen from the possession of the lender.
Wow.
The lender is not motivated. I'm sorry, the borrower is not motivated to make sure that this is a good document. He'd rather have the document fail than he doesn't have to pay.
True, but maybe the I thought this is what the lender is demanding of the borrower to there's like whose witnesses who do the witnesses coming to testify on behalf of? Are they the borrower's witnesses? Are they the lender's witnesses?
The lenders.
You would say the lender. He wants witnesses that this loan took place.
Right.
Because he's going to be the one that's going to demand the money. The borrower would just assume not have any evidence of this loan taking place.
Right.
He's not interested in having a good, I mean, he's got to give the document, he's got to draw up the document, he's got to go to the SOFR, because otherwise he's not going to get a loan. But that doesn't mean to say that the witnesses are coming from the borrower's side, and he's the one that has the responsibility to authenticate the document that they're proper signatures and they're not forgeries. That's interesting. The Gemora made up a whole scenario, and then the Gemora says, "No, that's ridiculous." Okay.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Very unusual. Okay. So that's the end of the story. In other words, there's no such a thing. There's no such a thing as the borrowers meeting in the house of the lender and saying, look, let's go, we all got to go authenticate our document before we give it to the lender so he can get the money. There's no such a thing. That's what Gemora says. Gemora says, what are you talking about? There's no such a thing. End of the story. Okay, now we got to go into a new story. We have any more time? 5 minutes. Im yesh simponos, yasema shebesimponos. Whose turn is it to read?
Right. Your turn, Roy.
Right. Im yesh imahen timaponos. If there are unissued receipts among his documents, ma ponos, he should abide by that which is recorded in the receipts. Will I do the related ruling for the Gemora?
Yeah, that's just the case of the Mishnah. And now on that din of the Mishnah, the Gemora has the following statement.
Omar Rav Yirmiyahu bar Abba, Omar Rav Simapon Hayotse Mesaches Yudei Malvet. A receipt, Rabbi Yirmiyahu bar Abba said in the name of Rab, a receipt that emerges from the hands of the lender, that is, it's found in his possession rather than in the borrower's possession. Af al pi shekotov bichsev yadav. Even if it is written in the lender's own handwriting, Eino elo sachek, nothing does nothing more than mocks the borrower. Upasul, and it is invalid. Thus, the note against which the receipt was written may still be collected. Who said all that?
Okay. We got some, we have a Rashi for Phil.
What a symphon is. It's a shover. It's a receipt. Hamabatel star that cancels the document.
Right.
Called about Hamabatel and all things that are nullified are devar kare symphon. That's called a symphon. Kedama, like we say, I'm trying to give a reason why it's called a symphon. Gabi Kedoshe Isha, relating to the kiddush, to the kedushin of a woman, umachirat, and the sale of our
Evan.
and an eved, sale of an eved. Shehimam Karui Simcham, that these are called a symphon, because Shimabatel Lo Hamecha, because it nullifies the deal. It cancels the deal.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it does. Why the word symphonist can't have that word develops into it, it doesn't really explain. It just tells you that what it's doing.
Right. It seems like the real word itself is the meaning of the word it's an invalidator. So you could have different types of invalidators. You could have a receipt which invalidates the shtar that a loan was made, because it's saying the loan was paid. So now that invalidates the shtar that the loan was made. And then also if there's a mum on the isha or the mum on the eved, so that'll invalidate the kedushin. It'll invalidate the mechira, because the husband, the would-be husband, or the would-be buyer of the eved is saying, oh, I didn't want to have a isha that has this mum. I didn't want to have a eved that has this mum, this blemish on them. So it's an invalidator. It doesn't really mean that it's but the word itself, it doesn't mean a receipt, and it doesn't mean a blemish. It means an invalidator. That's how I understand it.
Right. Okay. So it is time, and we will continue.